Welcome to my channel Prevention is Better Than Cure. In this video, I'm going to explain about SQL commands. Have you ever wondered what happens when we insert a data, when we retrieve a data, when we delete, or when we modify a data in a database? All of this are done by using the SQL commands. So SQL commands are categorized into different groups like data definition language commands, data manipulation language commands, data query language, that is DQL, data control language, and the transaction control language commands. So in this, to demonstrate all these commands, I'm going to use a simple database, that is a library management system. So here I'm going to create a tables like authors, members, books, and orders received, like these kind of tables would be created, and then I'll explain all the commands of the different languages, that is to interact different databases like Oracle, MySQL, etc. So if you have not yet installed, you please install Oracle or any other Oracle related softwares. And if at all, if you want to install the front end, that is a graphical user interfaces, and you can also install like Oracle SQL Developer, MySQL Workbench, or PostgreSQL, whatever it is. So here in this video, I'm going to use Oracle 11G. I have installed Oracle 11G. So here I'm going to explain all the commands. I'm going to execute all the commands by in this Oracle, that is a backend. Okay. So if you want installation of Oracle and installation of a GUIs and establishing connection between front and back end, and you can watch my video on installation of all these database related softwares. So let us start with the first. What is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. So SQL commands are used to interact with the database. How do we interact with the database? Like we create a tables, we insert records, we modify tables, we delete tables, we retrieve the data from the databases. So these are the few ways we can interact with the databases. So all these languages like a DDL, DML, DCL, these are TCL, these are all commands helps us to interact data with the databases. So let us start with the SQL, like the data definition language commands. So before, let me open this SQL command line, enter. You can see here SQL plus release 11.2. And before I start executing or using this commands, SQL commands, I need to connect to a user. Like suppose in this I'm going to connect to a user, like I just want to create a user, a different user for this video, only for this video purpose, because here this is a system that is a default user. So there I have already created all this, so that again no need of creating those tables. So I will show you from the beginning like how to create like the tables, or how do you can create objects of a data library management system, and then I will execute the rest of all the commands. So first let me create a user. So I have created user, or if at all if you have already created a tables in a present user, if you want to delete, you have to delete that tables, or tables or relations from that database. Else you can create a temporary user where you can grant permissions to that user, so that you can, once you practice all these commands, if at all if it is not required, and you can delete that user. So that is how you can manage this. Okay, so first let me create a user. Here I'm going to create using a create command. So create user, a username is, I'm going to use like, okay, so I'll create a temp2, temp underscore 2 is the username, and then identified by, here we have to give the password of this user. Okay, so I'll just give the same password. I'll just give a temp and then enter the semicolon and press enter. Now you can see here user created. Now we have to grant privileges to this user, so that you, if you want grant privileges, we have to use grant command, sorry, grant command to the user. So now I just want to grant a DBA privileges to this user, so that I no need to worry about the any permission issues, etc. Okay, so suppose if you just want to grant only create a table, create session, create views, like such kind of privileges if you want to grant, and you can mention grant all the privileges and to the user. But now, as of now, and I'm going to grant a DBA privileges to this user. So grant DBA to temp underscore 2, that is a current user. So grant succeeded message. So we have granted privileges to the temp underscore 2, that is a username, to as a DBA, database administrator privileges. So now let us create tables so that we can execute. So initially, so here the tables, to create a tables, this is one kind of interaction, that is interacting with the database. That is, if you want to create a table, we need a data definition language. That means by using this data definition language DDL commands, we can create a table definition or change the structure of a object or a table in the database. So first let us create authors table, so that we will also create the rest of the tables like book, etc. Then I will show you the different commands, and how we can interact with the different commands to the database. So now first let us just, I'm going to create a table. I'm not going to use any uppercase, so I'll just use a lowercase letters. So create a table, the table name is authors. So now I'm going to, this authors table is going to have attributes like author ID, author underscore ID, and its data type is number, and the digits, number of digits 5, and I just want to make this as a primary key. Okay, so then that every field should be separated by comma, and I'm going to create another field for this table authors. Next, author name. So this is the way I would like to give. So whatever you want, like whatever the attribute or column names you would like, you can create. Now this author name is a string, so that we have to give a we have to give, like we have to specify the data type, like varchar 2 of, suppose I'll give just let us say I'll just give a 30 characters of length, that is author name, and I just want to make a constraint like not null constraint. And next other another attribute is a country. It is also varchar, and here I'll give varchar 2 of maximum 15 characters. So maximum 15 characters, sorry, 15 characters. So then close the parenthesis. I'll just use the, and then end with the semicolon. So once I hit enter button, So name is already used by an existing object, authors. So I have to, okay, I have created the table, but I'm not yet connected to this temp user. Okay, so first let me connect to temp, because as of now we are connected to the system. So in that I have already created these tables. So now I'm going to connect to the temp underscore to user that is just now I have created. So now the password, once you enter, then you will get a connected message. So that is, the connection is successful. Now let us create it again. So create table, authors, sorry, I, this command is wrong. Create table, authors, and author ID, that is a number data type of 5 digits max, and it is a primary key. Okay, so primary key means which is a set of attributes are used to uniquely identify record in a table. Next attribute is author name, and it is a varchar 2 of maximum 30 characters in this name. Next, and this I just want to make, okay, I can't go back, so let us leave it, no problem. Now I'm going to add another column, country. So country, it is also a varchar 2 of some 10 characters max. Then close the parenthesis and end with the semicolon. Now you can see here table has been created. You'll be able to see the message table created. So similarly, let us create another table like books table. So create table books. So here I'm going to give attributes for this books table, that is book ID, and book ID is a number of 5 digits, and it is a primary key, and then title of the book. The title is should be a varchar 2 of like let us say I'll just give 50 only, not much, and that should be a not null. That means it will not allow the null values. Okay, so every book should have a title, and then separate by comma. Next one is author id, that is number, the same like and to create authors table, and whatever the we use, right, the same should be used here also, because we are going to establish a relationship between these two tables. So author id number 5, and then category varchar 2 of, and the book category again, like I just use some 30. I do not want to give the bigger size, uh, that is a column width. Next one is a price of a book, that is number, 8 digit, and the 2 decimal places, and then end with comma. Next, quantity, it is a number, so of 5. Then close the parenthesis and end with a semicolon. Then another table, books table, also been created. So next we have created the books authors table and the books table. Let us create a few more tables also. Okay, a small change here. I'm going to add a few more columns or attributes to this books table. So instead of modifying this, because a few more columns or constraints need to be added, so I will drop this table and create a new table. So drop table books. Now let me create a fresh table. Create, sorry, create table book books. So attributes book ID, that is varchar. Book ID is a number data type of 5, and it should be a primary key, and so comma, and title of title, it is a varchar 2 of, so title, book title, like let us say some 50 characters, even that is also big one. Let me give some 30 only. I will tell you later why I gave this a small size, that is 30 characters length titles only. Next one is author ID. Author ID, and author ID is the same as authors table. So that is number data type of 5, max 5 digit number. Next category. So category is again varchar 2 of, so category I'll give 10. Next price is a number of, let us say 8 comma 2, that is 8 digit and 2 decimal places. Next quantity, so quantity is a number of 5 digit number. Next we'll create a constraint that is we'll give just name to this constraint, that is a unbook price, or like this is just a constraint name. Later we will add constraint, and we have to establish connection to this authors table, so that the foreign key of author ID, that is a primary key of authors table. Now this is a foreign key, that is to establish connection to this table books, and that is references authors author ID. Okay, so then close the parenthesis and end with a semicolon. So there is a missing right parenthesis here, where, okay, so this is a problem. Okay, let me copy paste it so that no need to spend much time on it. Okay, so this is books table I've created. Next we have to create another table, members table, and this is a members table. I'm going to create table members, and it is going to have attributes member ID, member name, email, and phone, joining date. So this table also been created, and one more table, that is issue records. So I'm going to paste this. So this is create table, issue records, attributes, issue ID, book ID, member ID, issue date, and return date, etc. So now this table also been created. So we have created 4 tables. So if you want, yeah, and like return date, okay, we have already added constraints. Now let us check the tables. So select, that is whatever the tables we have created, select a table underscore name from user underscore tables. Select table underscore name from user underscore tables, from user underscore tables. So if you want like a particular order, you can use order by table name. So you can see here the 4 tables we have created as of now: authors, books, issue records, members. So now let us use alter table. Alter table, that is mainly used to modify existing table. Suppose if you want to add an address to the column to the members, that is address column to the members table, so we use alter command, alter sorry, alter table, members table, we are going to alter add address. This is the column name, address is the column name that we are going to add, and where char2 of some just only, I'll just give 40 50 like the small size. Okay, so then, and the semicolon. Now you can see here table altered. So now you can check the structure just by using describe, or you can use a short name describe, DESC, and table name is members. So now you can see we have added this address field just now by using the alter table command, alter command. So now let us rename the column, that is uh, the members table. You can see here this is a phone number. We want to rename this column name as a phone underscore number. So let us use alter command, alter table, alter table members. So we are going to rename column, that is phone, to phone underscore number. Okay, we are renaming this column phone to phone number and end with the semicolon. So now table altered. So now you can check it again. Just here you can see here phone underscore number. This is a modified column name. Next, suppose if you want to change the column definition. So column definition means, like, suppose if you want to change the number of characters this. So here let us change it and using a modify along with this alter. So alter table name is members. So modify, what we are going to modify, mobile underscore, sorry, it's not mobile, I think, yeah, previously that was modified as phone underscore number. It's okay. Phone underscore number, uh phone underscore number, it's var char2 of, so previously it's phone underscore number. So we are going to alter this table members, modify phone number varchar 2 of, and it is previously 15, then I'll make it 20, then end. So table has been altered. So suppose if you want a book price to be greater than 0, so we need to add a constraint on this books table. So let me add using this alter. So alter table books. So add constraint. What is this? Check book price. Check book price. So check price should be greater than 0. Okay. So then end with semicolon. So table altered. This is how we can add constraint on this book price. The book price should be greater than 0. What does it mean? If you That means the book price should be a positive value. If you try to, by mistake, if you try to enter negative or 0 values, and it will not allow, that will not be succeeded. That means, and that the record will not be inserted into this books table. Next, so before, let us understand the drop. And the drop table is mainly to delete the database object. Object means here the tables in this database. So before we, let us create a dummy table or simply a test table. So create a table that is a test underscore table. So here I'm going to use only one column ID, that is a number data type, and then close it with semicolon. So now the table has been created. It has only one column. So if I just I will, before, let me display whether this table is created or not. So that select table name from user tables. So you can see here test underscore table is already available. Now I'm going to drop this table using drop command. Drop table name is test underscore table colon. Now you can see table drop. Suppose if I re-execute this command, select a table name, that is to display all the tables, then it will show only the previous 4 tables only. That means test underscore table has been dropped from this database. So drop means it is a deleted from the database. Suppose if it has a data, like suppose let me insert. This is another command we use to insert records into this table, right? So insert into table name is test underscore table, right? Values just only ID, so some 22. So table does not exist. So let me create it again. Okay, so table does not exist. So that means a drop table deletes entire table definition and also data. So let us next one is a truncate. So truncate, so before, let us create some table. Create a table. Again, I'll create a test table, and this time I will use 2 attributes, ID and name, and this is where cat2 of some 20, and then close it. So then table has been created here. So now let us insert few records into this table. Insert into test underscore table values of, so I'll add values, and the varchar means that should be enclosed in the either double quotes or single quotes. So one record has been inserted into this test underscore table, and let us insert one more table here. Just simply I'm going back to the previous history of command so that I can just change it instead of typing all again. So this is another record. I'll insert one more record. ID is 3 and name is a C. Now just if I execute select star from table, select star from test underscore table, you can see this is the data available in this table. So now if I execute the truncate, like truncate table name test underscore table, it will delete data. Okay, it deletes only data, it will not delete the structure. The structure remains. So table truncated. Now suppose if I execute the same like a select star from the table, it will not show no record selected. But if I check the table definition, sorry, test underscore table, it will shows the definition, like it has ID, table name, ID, all this, so that you can you can insert data if you want, like suppose like this. So this is the main difference between the drop and truncate. Drop deletes the database, and that is a structure and data both, whereas a truncate deletes only the data, so structure remains. That is a main difference between the drop and truncate. And another command that is delete, that removes the selected rows, that I will explain it in a couple of minutes. Next one is a DML, data manipulation language query. Let us understand how do we interact with the database using these commands. This is mainly DML, data manipulation, is mainly used to manipulate the data stored inside tables. So main commands we use: insert, update, delete. Let us see one by one. So insert, like once the table being created, like suppose we have created test underscore table. If you want to insert, we use command insert into and table name and values of, and we have to enter as per the order of attributes in the table definition. So like that we can, suppose if you want to insert the data into the books table, author details, so we can insert into authors values of, here we have to give ID, author name. Okay, let me copy and paste it. Okay, so here I am going to insert these 4 records, like ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and respect to like a name and their country. So let me execute this. So once I paste it, it will be executed. All 4 records, 4 rows created. So now you can check just by executing select star from authors. We'll be able to see the inserted data. Okay, so You can also insert one more record into this, or you can just insert records into another tables like a books table. Here I'm going to insert these records into the books table with the book ID. There are four records I'm going to insert into this books table. So let us select star from books to see, because here we gave like that is a column width is large, that's why it is displayed the results like this. So that is how we can create insert the records into this books table. Next, let us okay, we have inserted records into books, and then let us insert data into members. So these are the records I'm going to insert into members table. So mobile number invalid identifier, so because that is a phone number, let me make, okay, let me insert few records into this members table. So I'm going to copy and paste it. Now you can see here. So let me execute, select the star from members table. What happened here? Okay, it's a typo. So now this is because here the member table also we gave a large the column width, that's why we the view is like this. I will show you, right? Like suppose let me commit. So that is I have saved, and I'll connect to the SQL Oracle SQL developer. Okay, so let me open that Oracle SQL developer.